Good morning, all, and welcome back to Mike United. Today, I want to talk about a secret behind closed doors friendly win against Wrexham. Um, the team news I have for that, which is a little bit contradicting. Um, some loose, kind of lukewarm transfer rumours that have been floating around. The latest on Frankie de Jong, Barcelona in general, and Ronaldo. And also, I want to talk about my what I believe will be our starting 11 on the first day of the season against Brighton. And if you're expecting surprises for our first day starting 11, you will be disappointed, I think. So we'll jump straight in with the friendly. Actually, first thing, in case you haven't noticed, I am wearing a Coca-Cola top. And in case you missed the nuance, maybe that is me um, having a bit of a standoff, if you can call it, with Ronaldo. Remember Ronaldo moving the Coke bottles during the was it during the Euros or during some internationals, moving the Coke bottles. So maybe I've subconsciously picked this up as a um, biting back at Ronaldo trying to leave the club, or maybe it was just the T-shirt on the top of the clean washing. Who knows? So the Wrexham game, we won 4-1. They are a National League team, I believe. The league below, League Two, and they actually went 1-0 up. And we came back. Ericsson scored a free kick in the first half. It was 1-1 at half time, and three more goals in the second half. Now, reports are contradicting whether it was Garnacho or Ahmad who scored the second goal, but one of those scored the second goal and one of those scored the third goal, and it was Alex Telles who scored the fourth. What position Telles played, who knows? During pre-season, he's played left centre back, left back. I believe he's kind of played left wing, very far forward. I don't know what the future holds for Telles. Whether Ten Hag sees him as a bit of a versatile player, maybe he thinks he can play left centre back and cover left centre back, left back in a fluid kind of um, position setup, similar to the Ajax and Holland teams of the past have played. But the starting lineup, there's a little bit of crossed wires. The starting lineup I've seen is Kovar started in goal, Wan-Bissaka right back, Bailly and Martinez at centre back, Malacia left back, um, James Garner, Van der Beek, Palestri, Ericsson, Ahmad, and Martial is the starting lineup that I've seen. Reports say that James Garner did play the full 90 minutes, which is good. The reports also say that Varane played the whole 90 minutes. Now, we know that Martinez definitely started, as did Ericsson. So, maybe Varane started instead of Bailly, and then Bailly came on for Martinez. It's reported that Bailly did feature, so um, that's all we know. Other than, obviously, Garnacho must have come on because he didn't start the game. According to the starting lineup that I've seen, Palestri started with Ahmad on the wings. Ericsson kind of in a number 10. But again, it's not really known. It could have been that Van der Beek started at number 10 and Ericsson started kind of further back in central midfield. But the goal scorers were definitely um, Ericsson free kick, Garnacho, Ahmad, and Telles scored the fourth. Ronaldo was there watching alongside Bruno and Marcus Rashford, so we know none of them featured. Um, as I say, the biggest positive from that is I think that Garner played the full 90 minutes. And if Varane played the full 90 minutes, obviously that too. Martinez and Ericsson both playing for us. Obviously we'll see more of them. I expect all of those players will feature in the next two games that we've got on Saturday and Sunday against Atletico and Rayo Vallecano. And we'll get a much better idea of what our starting lineup will be on the opening day of the season. Um, I'll actually jump straight into that. I don't think it's going to feature any of our new signings. I think all three of the signings we have right now will start on the bench. I don't think we're going to have signed De Jong by then if we are going to get him, or whoever his alternative is. I don't think he'll be in before the first game of the season. So, while some people might not be happy with it, I do think it will be a McFred starting central midfield. Um, Behind those, we don't hear it as often as McFred. McFred is said all the time, but Magaluf was the name given to Maguire Lindelof centre back pairing. I do think that will be the starting centre back pairing for the first game of the season, with Varane and Martinez on the bench. Fullbacks, I think Ten Hag will go with Shaw and Dalot, who obviously know the league a little bit better than Malacia, and Dalot is obviously preferred to Wan-Bissaka so far. De Gea in goal, no surprises. And further forward, the only options we really have, the best options we have anyway, Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, Bruno number 10, and Martial in front. It's yet to be seen if Ronaldo will be on the bench, or if he'll be completely not just out of the squad, but he could be out of Man United by then. But I do believe that will be the starting lineup. That front four is, I think, pretty much nailed on. The only possible changes I could imagine is maybe Eriksen will start, maybe one of Martinez or Varane will start. But generally, I think that will be the lineup. I can't see Malacia being thrown straight into the first game. And as I say, I can't see any more signings coming in before that. Not which nicely segues, talking about signings, into transfer rumours. Now, this morning, the latest rumours link us with a variety of players, which I think I can categorically say we will not be signing. One of which is Neymar, who apparently is on his way out of PSG. Not going to happen. If Ronaldo stays, it's 100% not going to happen. If Ronaldo leaves, it's 99.99% not going to happen. I think the days of signing these big star players on massive wages and the commercial aspect, I think those days are maybe not completely over, but at least we've stuck a pin in those days for now. I think it's about getting Ten Hag the character of player that he wants to get in. If we are going to sign any Brazilian, it's going to be Anthony. But even that, I think, is 90% not going to happen. Ajax apparently wanted 70 million a few weeks ago, then it was up to 80 million, and now the price is up to 100 million plus bonuses. It's not going to happen. They've lost over half of their team, their manager. They are completely rebuilding. Anthony is one player that they will not be selling this summer. Next summer, possibly. So, will we see this season out and go with Sancho, Ahmad or Palestri, or both, and I don't know, Garnacho, who primarily plays off the left, Alanga, who primarily plays off the left, Rashford, same, as kind of fourth, fifth choice right wing options, possibly. If Ronaldo leaves, I believe we will sign an attacker, whether that's a striker, most likely, or a right winger, is possible. But again, I don't think that will happen by the first day of the season. I think that will be more towards the end of the transfer window. And where could Ronaldo go? If PSG do sell Neymar, is there a possibility? Is there anywhere Neymar could go? Who's going to pay his transfer fee? Who's going to pay his wages? But say Neymar does go and PSG make a move for Ronaldo towards the end of the season, towards the end of the transfer window, I don't see it. Ronaldo and Messi in the same team would obviously be both a disaster and also wonderful to see, but I don't see it happening. Bayern have distanced themselves, as have Atletico. The statement is it will be very difficult, and the fans clearly don't want him after his time with Madrid. But could Bayern be posturing? They obviously could do with a striker now Lewandowski's gone. Towards the end of the window, we will see. I think Bayern's a possibility, but I think the most likely is Chelsea. They're getting quite desperate. They've lost out on 2 targets to Barcelona. There's not many strikers out there, And while Ronaldo might not fit their system, he can come in as a rotation, bench option, a player that can bully the weaker teams. He could be better than the player that they hoped Lukaku would have been last year. Kind of bully the lower teams, jump up and score a last minute header against a tough opposition, like a big side. He steps up in big games, he does. He didn't have the best year last year with us, but a lot of that is down to a lack of service and manager changes and maybe not the best tactics. So at a team like Chelsea, there's no reason he couldn't score more goals than he did for us last year. He might even see less minutes and score more goals. Again, towards the end of the transfer window, I could see Chelsea possibly making a move. 7, 8, 9, 10 million. Get him in on lower wages or get to play in the Champions League, at least the group stage. Chelsea realistically will make it out of the group stage. So, that's 6 games in the group stage, plus at least 2 games in the next knockout round. Ronaldo wants to extend that goal record. If he's got 8 guaranteed games in the Champions League, possibly 10. The second round is seeded. Whoever finishes first plays whoever finishes second. Chances are you'd expect Chelsea to get past most teams that finish second. So he could have easily 8 to 10 games in the Champions League next year. He could score 5, 6, 7 goals in those games and extend his record over Messi that little bit more, who, as we all know, has struggled a little bit at PSG. I think the chances of him leaving are pretty high. They're at the highest I thought they would be after he's come back, and all the talk is he still wants out. Mendes is doing what he can. There's other teams like Napoli that is a possibility. Even Sporting. There's talk of him going out on loan. There's talk of us releasing him from his contract and not having to pay him a fee. Which, if he's on strike and he doesn't want to play for us, then if we could say, right, okay, we'll release you on a free, we pay you nothing, you owe us nothing, that saves us, is it 360 grand a week after his pay cut? That works out to what, 18 million pounds? It could be an option. Ronaldo could go on a free this year, if an agreement could be reached, and then he'll be free to go to Bayern, Chelsea, PSG, Sporting, Napoli, even Madrid have been mentioned. If he's available on a free, I'm sure a lot of teams would take a punt and give him a 1 or 2 year contract. So we shall see. And who will we bring in? It won't be Neymar. It won't be Anthony. Other links is Michael Elise from Palace, right winger. I don't see it. I think if Ronaldo leaves, we need to bring in a player who is ready to play, 25, 26, 27, even older, 28, 29, to come in and play as a striker for us or a right winger. As I say, strikers most likely. I've said it many times, my option would be Moussa Dembele of Lyon. We could get him for quite cheap. And he's ready to play. There are other players out there like Jonathan David. Skamaka has obviously just gone to West Ham. He's 30 million for potential. Klajzic, who I like very much. Again, you're paying for potential. And he could come in and play second fiddle to Martial for a season or two. But realistically, we need someone to be another option to get goals. We don't need a young player who needs time to bed in. Dembele, it's been a while since he's been in the Premier League, but he knows the league, he knows the country. He came through the youth ranks at Fulham. That would be my option. But the downside to that is Martial has struggled when there's competition for places. Ibrahimovic, Lukaku, Ronaldo. Martial's best football has been played when he's the only striker option, unfortunately. But I'm thinking Dembele. I'm assuming they know each other. They were possibly at Lyon at the same time, but I can't 100% verify. They're both French. Surely they've been in the French team at the same time. I'm not sure. I know Dembele doesn't have a load of caps, neither does Martial. But I'd hope that they would come in and form maybe a good partnership to play alongside each other and a good competition. Remember a few years back when Martial and Rashford were both banging them in, and they were on very similar goals and assists for the season, but also in their all-time record for Man United. And when Rashford would score, it would show Martial kind of smiling, and he got with that competition quite well, as did Rashford. Hopefully, we could see that with Rashford and Martial this year, but also maybe Dembele. I do have to say this is just a Mike United pipe dream. I've seen no reports of Dembele to United, which is unfortunate. The other links that are again lukewarm. Klaus has been mentioned again from Lens of Ligue 1, 29-year-old French international right back, and also Denzel Dumfries has been mentioned into Milan, but again lukewarm, and a lot of people are saying great right wing back in a three at the back system, but not a good right back. So would he be much of an improvement on Dalot? Defensively, I don't think he'd be an improvement on Wan-Bissaka. The links out are Williams, 15 million to Brighton is a possibility. Phil Jones to DC United, the links have gone cold. Could he also drop down to the Championship, possibly be released on a free? Eric Bailly, there's no real links other than Roma were interested. Mourinho. Eric Bailly could do really well in the Italian league. Alvaro Fernandez has joined Preston on loan, as I mentioned last week. The other outs, I don't think there's anything really going on. I mean, if we could see Jones, Bailly, Tuanzebe, there's no links. Williams, as I mentioned. Tellez we thought was out with Shaw and Malacia, but he could be staying. And as I say, Ronaldo possibly out. But it's getting into that funny time now of the transfer window. Silly season, who knows what could happen. The only other news really regarding Frenkie de Jong is that Barcelona have signed Jules Koundé. That's the second player that they've signed that Chelsea wanted after Rafinha. But look at the signings they've made. Christensen, Koundé, Frank Kessie, Lewandowski, Rafinha. While some of those were on a free, there's still 150 to 200 million euros that have been spent, plus big wages for some of those players. So how they're affording it, how they're going to be under the wage cap, I do not know. All these signings would logically point to Frenkie de Jong, who's on 400 grand a week at Barca, leaving. There is a transfer fee agreed with us, and reports have said, Man United would not be pursuing de Jong for this long. I didn't mean to rhyme it then, but I did. They wouldn't be going for it this long if de Jong wasn't open to coming. There would have been discussions with de Jong's agent or business manager. Erik ten Hag would have spoke to de Jong. If he wasn't willing to come, then we wouldn't have gone this far. So it's all down to what Barca are going to do with his deferred wages, I believe. But the reports are that Barca are saying to him, we want you to stay, but we want you to more than half your wages, and also kind of give up some of the deferred wages that we owe you, which is despicable by all means. But will de Jong put up with that and stay, or will that be de Jong will take that as too much of an insult and say, no, I'm off, I'm going to join Man United? Hopefully, but we shall see. That is it for me. As I've mentioned, we play Atletico on Saturday, and Rayo Vallecano on Sunday, and we will see a lot more of the players we want to see: Eriksen, Martinez, Varane, Garner. See if Martial can keep up his kind of pre-season scoring streak. See if Ronaldo features at all. I doubt it, but it's a possibility. I don't think there's any team he'd like to play against more than Atletico at the minute, and score 2 or 3 goals against them to keep up his record, and to show potential suitors that he can do it. He is an asset. We shall see. Again, thank you for watching. This is my 11th video. I'm not going to mention every video that this is my 10th video, this is my 11th, but I am very proud of that. Thank you for watching. Again, as I've mentioned, like, comment, subscribe. I really appreciate your views and putting the time to watch. Thank you, and I'll see you shortly.